One thing I would highly recommend is having a box that will fit your items in it. With that, there's tons of different storage containers that you can have. I would highly recommend a box that stands out. If you have mostly black storage boxes, get a box that's red or blue or green. So when you're in a rush come hurricane season and you're in order to evacuate, you know exactly what box you're going to go grab and it stands out. So when we talk about emergency preparedness, we want to think about things that we need so that we can go. And we got to consider all members of our family, including our pets, our children, infant children. So we'll start at this end and kind of work our way that way. For pets, you should definitely have a bag of food. You don't know how long you'll be out. You know when you'll be able to get more supplies. So just having a bag of the food that they already eat. Bowls for food and water. Water for your pet specifically. We'll get down to water for your family members, but you should also have at least a gallon of water per dog in your pack out, so that way they have clean water. Harnesses, leashes, any like toys or chewies that they would like. Those are the kind of things you should think about for your pets. For your children, you should think about a favorite toy. If they have a toy that they like every day, see if you can buy another toy that's exactly like that and have it in your kit ready to go. So that way if they don't get a chance to grab that favorite stuffed animal, there's one in their to-go kit, and it'll be there wherever you have to stop at your safe location. So that's kind of a recommendation. And then also clothing, that's the next piece, making sure you have clothing for at least 3 days. And that's for every member of your family. You should think about that. If there's clothing that you could share with family members, if you have, for instance, you had twins, you might only do 5 pieces of clothing because your box will get so full so fast, right? So if they could share clothing, then that's something to consider. Strongly recommend using Ziploc bags or vacuum bags so you can consolidate the space in your container. You want to remember, socks, undergarments, pants, because there might be a lot of debris depending on whether it's a tornado or whether it's a hurricane. Pants and then shorts, because it can be hot out and you want to make sure you have appropriate clothing for both. And then short sleeve and long sleeve t-shirts. And if you can vacuum seal those or Ziploc bag those, it'd be great because it'll save room in your container. I also recommend a pair of shoes for every person in your family and having those already in the box. Maybe not their favorite pair that they're wearing that day, but maybe a pair that you were thinking about getting rid of. So that way you have a pair ready to go in your storage container. Travel kit for every person in your family. It already has toothpaste, it already has shampoo, conditioner. I added, for instance, flossies to floss your teeth. You want to still have opportunity to stay clean. If you're not able to get home right away, have some of your basic toiletries. And I highly recommend one bag for each person. That way everybody has a little bit for themselves. Some other items that I would recommend is headlamps. Make sure you have a headlamp, so if it is at night and you're trying to do your evacuation or you're out of power once the hurricane or tornado is passed, you at least have headlamps. Making sure that you have the batteries in your storage kit. We'll talk about excess batteries here in a little bit, but having batteries for every item that requires a battery and then having spare batteries is important. I'd also highly recommend some type of reflective vesting or banding, so that way if it's dark outside and you need to move and people are driving, at least they see you and you stand out. So those are some things. In the winter weather, as we get later into hurricane season, you'll be concerned about cold. I'd recommend you have hand warmers, at least a couple pairs for each person as well. One, they can be used for in their gloves, or they can be used for in their feet if there's no heat. So that's something to think about. This is something that I use from a camping aspect, but I think it's really important also for this type of environment where we may not have potable water, but this is a personal filtration system. There's 2 bags in this system. One is when you get the water that's contaminated, and then you squirt into the other bag, that's your clean bag water, and then you can drink from it. And this system has the filter here, so even if you had bottled water or a bottle and you refill it, you screw this to the top of your water bottle and you can drink from it, and it's filtrating as you drink. So this is just an extra item to think about. There's different styles of filtration systems, but this one's really nice because it's individual.